Welcome back.
Hello. Long dark. It's Friday. Hey. Go. Camera. There. It's big enough. Boy. Okay. Eat that. Okay, so got 2 axes, a hunting knife, improvised knife, 4 whetstones, a stone kit, 1 lantern, brand new survival bow. The clothing we have on us. Right here. Oh, nope. Heck. All the arrows we're gonna have to go through and place damage. Just go through and like we'll tear them down before we make the trip up, so we have 100% all of our boat, all our arrows. That's right, we don't have any wolves out front. No. That's pretty cool.
It feels so good.
Right noon right now. Oh, I'm not feeling well. Got a sprained wrist, sprained ankle. I'm currently carrying too much of right now. Oh, bunch of charcoal with me. Trying to think of what else probably get rid of. This is all about figuring out bare minimums for arrow.
They talk about another kind of war.
I'm missing over here by the bear.
Lost in old ways.
Yeah, that's all I'm missing. The bear location. Bear. Do with this bear. Getting close. Closer. Check the temperature. Okay, one arrow down. Not bad. Just very windy. Break some of this down here real quick. Thinking about the wood I have available right now. I think I should probably gather more. You never have too much food in this game. Cold. Yeah. Tell me it's cold. Yeah, he's complaining about something.
This pack is getting kind of heavy.
Hey. Okay. Water. Lizards on its way. Check the clothing here. 1, 9, 6. I'm warming up. I don't know. Make noises like that. Get to big time. That's this day. Bring something, eat something. Honestly, that's probably risk of people are fine. That's 2 hours of time. Sunlight now. Nice. Eating
Thank goodness. Made it through another night.
coming into foggy day. Okay. I'm all moose when I looked over. Gather wood. Gathering wood. This is the bear. Bear's apparently on its way. Have I even looked on this? Wondering if I've ever actually been on this thing and looked around. I don't think I have. I don't think anything. Here it's on its way. He just wants to take the bear on. Probably do that. I saw something. Food, water, more water. Waiting for bear to show up. I'm waiting on. Waiting on Mr. Smokey here. Drop it in the usual spot. Okay. Bear. Thought is if I can take on the bear, I'll have free reign to go and look at that little area right behind the cave over there. That way I can go up there, see if there's anything there. If there's nothing there, then fine. And if there is something there, and you're waiting. There he is. Bear. Come on, Mr. Bear. Get a little bit closer. On the challenge mode, so I'm not going to be able to do this. Where you have the bear hunting you. He can make it through doorways. And just kind of crash in. One safe way to do this. I'm waiting for him. Waiting. Closer. Yeah, I know. I ran off in that direction. Just seeing if he's gonna just all of a sudden rubber band back. He stopped right there. Just need to wait for him to come back. He's bleeding, so I actually hit him. There's also a log there. You can probably go up on the log and hit him from there too. You just fall over. He just fell over. Ah, sweet. 39. Quickly. I'm gonna actually leave most of his carcass here. Only caring about the hide here. The meat is for later. Much later. But there we go. It's fairly easy. Oh wait. God. How did I hit him? Oh. Confused. I hit this guy. Where am I? Where did I hit the bear? Did I hit you? Part of your body that I hit. Somewhere in the front part of the bear. I'll just run all his footsteps. Anything. I don't think I saw like an arrow nearby that fell off and rolled. Huh. Confused. Usually when an arrow sticks in, it's not like it rolls off during when they run off like that. It usually stays in wherever it may have been planted. Usually if they die, it means that you actually did stick them. I'm kind of just running back all the way to where I stuck them. Going around, retracing my steps here. Going around this edge. Stuck them. I think that might be my arrow. Oh, it broke. That's why. Okay. Oh, I got my arrowhead back. That's what's important. Okay. Guess that was the only other option. It broke. If an arrow breaks, it won't stay stuck. Which is kind of weird, because if it broke, and it bounces off, it didn't kill the target. I would be kind of okay with a game mechanic where when it breaks, you only get the arrowhead back. I'd be perfectly fine. But it makes sense to broke. something up in here, so there's nothing in the cave. That I know for sure. So past the cave. There's a little path back here that I noticed last time I was here. I didn't take it because the bear was here. This out. This little path. Something. Or might not. We will see. Something up here. Is it worth taking a bear for? No. Echo Peak. Take a seat. Okay. Nothing more than a landmark. Well, I'm here. We survey it. Old man's beard. Cedar. Let's. Yeah, that's definitely not worth it. Taking out the bear is worth it. Coming all the way up here to find nothing. Well, that last part of the last part of the map here. Right, pop across the ramp down. Yeah, woo woo woo. Dog. I really wish I could. A lot of things I wish, but I really wish I could afford unlimited data. Because I occasionally get slow days at work. These slow days, it would be nice if I could, you know, watch streams. Have all the stuff near the bear while I can. There's another path. As soon as you go past here, another path up. The opportunity to go up that path. It's up there. I mark it. Quick survey. Going to here. Maybe I've been up there before, maybe I've... Echo or Z. Doesn't look like there is anything. Weird. I'll check down here. This playthrough I haven't checked down here. Going up that tree several times. Zips. Cedar wood. This is supposed to be perfect here around somewhere. Yeah, that's nothing. Probably nothing. Oh well. Water. On the way back. Nothing. Looks to be another way down. Oh, maybe slow on energy. Oh, low on energy. In the old man's beard, as I can find. More hanging out from the tree. Grab that.
Something's making me feel tired.
was gonna run into a wolf again. Usually when you take out a bear, the wolves are not far behind. Push it. That bear carcass is going to be just extra food for Mom. Be worried about not eating through that one. Eat that.
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
Here. Drop it here. That one's gonna be well though. That one's already. Eat something. Drink a little bit. Only make some water, maybe? Yeah, I should probably.
I'm gonna have to leave something behind.
Oop, no, you don't. Oop, nope. Yeah. Holy crap. Probably gonna have a lot of wood. Tons of water. Probably 15 liters. That's a wow. Nope.
Feels like a lot of gear.
All the water.
Something's making me feel really tired.
That. Rest. Grab a 14. Nope. It's like 21 days. Pretty much got like 40, 30 more days and then we have to get up the mountain. Wait. 8 more. Spend the day just grabbing 10, cooking it, repeating. I don't know. Burn through a couple of days. Got a bear to process. As you're able to deal with the bears, they become a little bit more mundane. At least in this difficulty.
I might have to drop some gear.
Could be about 4 trips. Might even go around the lake and gather up all the cattail stalks. Because if I have them, I don't want to have some emergency food on the mountain. Get it. Wood here. Just enough to cook the meat I have.
Come on. That did it. One. Yep. Let's...
uh. Won't take me long to another 10. I'll make sure that, or at least the fire was still going by the time I got back. I don't think I've touched any of the cattail around the lake, have I? I don't think I have on this.
Oh, that's sore.
Sprained ankle going up a small hill.
I need to drop something.
Maybe not. Drop something? What are you talking about?
I'm gonna need some first aid soon.
Yes. You can usually tell by the smoke coming out of it. Brain ankle cancer. Girls. Good part. Oh, the string came in. Grace. Yeah, bowstring came in. I think the place I work at I think they could work on house. Drink water. Oh. Food. Right now. time. I got like 2 more trips. Food to get. Yep. Yeah, we're gonna be good on food. Food, we're gonna water. Get ourselves the bear hide. It's that Musa ride. So Musa shows up out of nowhere. I think we're good to end out days. Just get ourselves to as close to day 450 as we can. And we can start on our trip up. And there's a wind. Oh, blizzard. Hit full blizzard yet. Hours. Maybe we get some light. More light than that. Now
Looks like I made it through another night.
yep, yes it did. We got through another night. Grab. Here we go. All east. Go. Too cold. Okay. You're still there. Okay, let's go back to it. Okay, well, about this game when it came up. I could see progress in the game. Did my first playthrough. Church. Good night. Did lose legendary, didn't think. Yeah. It's kind of difficult to predict what the weather's gonna be. I try really hard to kind of plan ahead. as much as I can. Like for instance, right now I spend a lot of time indoors. So I'm gonna have to go to the cave where I've set up pretty much a campfire, place to sleep, a little bit of water, wood to be able to make a fire, so that I could spend a night or two out there in case I do get cabin fever. It's been a while since I played the campaign, so I don't know if you can get cabin fever on the campaign, because you do spend a lot of time indoors. But you certainly do on survival. There's a wolf somewhere. Just spawned. Probably the one that's behind my house. At least that's what I think. Currently, right now, we're at the 422. At least we're starting that day. We need to make it to day 450, and then we'll start making a trip up the mountain and make it to the tail section of the aircraft. Do my fire out. We truck down. Pitch black. Revive the wolf back. Another. Enjoy the game. Yeah, it's a good game. It's one of those games where, I mean, your survival is based on your decision. More so. You versus Mother Nature. Start a fire. Grab some more wood here. Currently right now I've got so much food on me, I've got so much food, water, and wood, I'm just gonna kind of just grind through some days. Get myself closer to... I've pretty much explored and salvaged pretty much every single area. So it was like, I mean, I've seen all the new content already, and I've been to every single zone. I've kind of run out of things to do, so I'm just kind of grinding through, get to 450, and start going up the mountain and trying to survive on every single level I go. I don't want to go plowing through all these days and then, you know, for the sake of going through them, not have supplies at the end of it. I'm gonna need supplies in case something goes wrong. I think my settings is on difficulty. Yeah, I'm on Stalker difficulty. It's right below Interloper, which is the hardest difficulty. Which, you know, Stalker's still pretty difficult because you have wolves everywhere. So you're constantly under attack when you're out and about or being hunted. Foggy day, that's good. Fire left an hour. Wood here real quick. Let's go on a wood run here. I think I got one more trip left. Finish off the bear. Gotta be a wolf behind me. Usually there's 2 wolves on the lake. Tried a short run and died right off. Yeah. It's learning from your deaths. Which I've died a couple of times. I think this is my furthest run I've been on, but also, I mean, it took a couple of tries. The beginning of this run didn't really start out really good either. I started out in Mystery, and I pretty much found a whole bunch of bullets, and we didn't find a gun until we left the area.
Something's gotta go.
And I had no way of defending myself until I left. I mean, I think we left Mystery Lake and went towards Pleasant Valley with about 40 rounds of rifle ammunition. So we were drowning in bullets, but we didn't have a rifle to shoot it until we were on our way from Pleasant Valley to, on our way from Mystery Lake to Pleasant Valley. Plus, I didn't get gloves until day 80. I didn't get a decent pair of gloves until day 80. I ran around with work gloves for 80 days. That wasn't fun. I had to actually go and make gloves. Go and make rabbit mittens. It was a moose that charged me. Purple res. I didn't do nothing to it, yeah. The moose is passive until you get to a certain distance from him, and then he'll charge you. So as long as you're not bothering it and you're a good distance away, he'll just kind of look at you. Much like a bear, but much also like a bear, if you get too close, he'll decide to just attack you. The good thing about a moose, all you really get is a nasty broken rib, but your health doesn't go down that far. It's survival. Maybe they got a highlight of me getting attacked by one. I mean, 120 hours of sleep in order to have it go away and some painkillers. Quite a bit to have to deal with, but if you're already prepared for the outcome, then it's just an inconvenience point. My second attempt at Goose was a lot better. I two-shotted it. Didn't get, walked away unscathed. Most everything in this game you can deal with as long as you find them on flat, open ground. That's what I try to do when I'm taking out bears. Or pretty much anything hostile. Try to find the flattest ground I can find. Yeah, that's good. About to hit nighttime here. Also, I mean, the other thing is try your hardest to not be out in the dark. I mean, yeah, the game's name is The Long Dark. Don't be in the dark. Unless you absolutely have to, you have no choice. But the goal is to be prepared enough to where you just sit indoors, sleep the night away, and then go out. I think, yeah, I've gotten through the bear now. I was attacked by a wolf before it, and hypothermia didn't help. So it was a mid-run, less than 4 minutes, so decided to drop it down. I hear ya. Pretty much right now, as soon as I get to day 500, I'm good. I'm gonna just end this run and move on to Interloper. Try 500 days Interloper. That's the next difficulty up. I think I'm prepared for it. I've pretty much learned all the game mechanics and how everything's supposed to. Should have an easier time. And also, you're not going to run into as many wolves in Interloper, which is going to be nice. But all wildlife is a lot harder to find on Interloper, so that's going to be a bit difficult. Probably going to be living off of rabbit and fish for a while on that run. Wait 1 more hour. Sleep. Nope. I usually sleep for 10 hours, mostly so that I can get through as much of the night as I can. Sometimes you're not going to be able to. A blizzard. Have to get to the cave after this. Got a feeling I'm going to get cabin fever here. Cabin fever is definitely a risk right now. Fast. Blizzard hit. No. No afflictions yet. Cabin fever is definitely on the way. I think it's like, if you've been indoors the majority of 5 days, then you get cabin fever risk. That was probably the first when I blow out my fire. But that you get lucky and make it. Interloper once. You're a lot more generous with animals and lives and survival. Yes, there are. It's been a while since I did my campaign. I'm still waiting on episode 3. But I think I ended it with a bunch of wolf hides. So I pretty much have the supplies to be able to make the coat. They need to give me the recipe to do it. That's the major difference. There's just certain things you need to make in the campaign. There's a way to make it through a blizzard. You could walk out in a blizzard. Not impossible, but it requires having to get yourself a warming buff by drinking or eating something hot. Cabin fever inside. Yeah. If you're indoors, this is considered. anything with a loading screen. So if you go into a building that requires a loading screen, or go into a cave that has a loading screen, if you're indoors too long, you'll get this debuff cabin fever risk. If that thing goes up to 100%, it will give you cabin fever. Cabin fever, what it does is until it goes away, until it will not allow you to sleep indoors. So anywhere that's considered indoors, it won't sleep. The only other places that you can sleep at that point is either in a snow shelter, build yourself as a little snow shelter, this thing, or sleep inside of an open mouth cave, which I'm actually going to be going to. I have one set up. Wolf on my way though. Be careful. Another thing is learn the bow. The bow and arrow is going to be your long-term self-defense and hunting tool. The rifle is early game, short-term survival, because the bullets are one-time use and there's only so many of them on the map. The bow is a little bit long-term weapon. One of the biggest things that you'll learn when it comes to the bow is it doesn't shoot. There's an arc to it. Here is that one. You eating a rabbit? So here's how you... I'm going to just show you how to deal with a wolf if he's done eating. One of the ways you can kill him... Oh, there he is. Should turn around here soon. Usually how you can tell if there's a wolf around you. One, you'll hear rustling. Sound is a big thing in this game. First, you'll hear some rustling of leaves. Oh, got scared off. In my coat. But first you'll hear rustling. Then, you'll hear barking. Barking happens, it means he saw you. Sometimes, if you're in hilly areas, there he barks. He runs towards you. Now he's growling. When he's growling, that's... You can either cock back, aim. If you aim, he'll immediately sprint. And then he'll attack you. The other way, drop a decoy. That immediately stops his growling. He goes right for the bait. It'll allow you to line up and hit him. Pretty much how bait works is they will grab whatever is the least calorie item in your food. So it grabbed this. 19 calories. This is considered my bait. It will also grab fresh guts. Now the problem with fresh guts is that the fresh guts give off scent. Scent basically means anything that's a carnivore can smell you and will be slowly coming toward you. Which you'll be running into more and more wolves if you do that. So I usually use some small piece of meat that is cooked, so I don't get scent. But I always like to take on any carnivore on flat ground. It makes it easier to hit them, because they'll come walking or running at you in a straight line. You also want to aim for either their head or their heart. Any other shots won't do it. That's if you want to kill. If you want to kill a wolf. If you just want to scare one off, there's many ways to do it. Flare guns. Flare guns. A flare, throwing the flare at them. throwing a torch at them. Those will scare them. Which, you know, if you're low on supplies or you're low on arrows or bullets, it's preferably the method to get rid of them. But they will come back. It's not like you can just be like safe and they're gone forever. Okay. I pegged one with a rock at night. Had to walk through a storm. Then that wind blew my fire. I heard the growl in the eyes. Got lucky, yeah. I hear you. Yeah, so this is the open mouth cave. Pretty much at this point right here, at the mouth of the cave, you get no benefit. You know, you're considered out here. You know, it's cold here, temperature drops, all that. As soon as you get past a certain point, usually back here, then it's no different than being in a house, but it's not considered indoors. It's outdoors. So you can, you know, grab your sleeping roll or your bedroll, what have you. And you can pretty much just post up in here. Now for those who don't want to have risk of having fever ever, this is a really good place to have a base camp. Have a, you know, a main base. Putting all your supplies in here and all that. Becomes a really good spot. In fact, your hides will all cure in here too. Because to cure hides, you have to be considered in a place that's considered indoors, but the caves are not considered in. It's weird. Okay. It's just you have to sleep indoors. Eat, you know, you have to be outdoors, sleep outdoors, all that kind of stuff. Oh, that's weird. That was at a weird angle. What about the cars? I was thinking of needing to hide in one if here is. I have yet to. Yeah, cars won't work. Houses, cabin, inside of caves. Unfortunately, cars don't count. Cars do count when it comes to the food. The food in this game will slow down its degradation. You know, the food degrades over time and then it becomes ruined. Putting your food into a car, into a trunk, will count. So you could put, you know, all your meat and fish into, or canned goods into the trunk of a car, and it will count as refrigeration. You just have to remember which one of the cars you actually put into. I usually put them like on my doorstep. That's where I put all my food, onto the doorstep, so that it is considered outdoors and cold, and it will actually slow down. Sleep. Second. Yeah, good. I thought it was gonna be a blizzard. 2 blizzards in a row is rough. Extremely rough. It's pretty bad when you get 2 blizzards in a row. That's why I kind of try to predict, okay, how many days in a row have I slept indoors? Okay, let's get to the cave. Head it off at the pass. Wait yourself some time here. Okay, daytime. Another leader here. One of the coolest things about water is that it doesn't degrade ever. You can put that stuff anywhere, drop it. That's one thing I always do, is I always stock up on thermal liters. If I have to, I don't have to make it. Especially late game, don't want to be, oh, in early game too, don't want matches and make 2 liters at a time. If you're gonna make water, I suggest make it 10 liters at a time. Enough wood stocked up for that. Also, when it comes to fires, don't use one just to warm up. Because if you go use a fire if you have to warm up, but don't use it on a regular basis. Anywhere like a cave, sleeping in a cave, now that will warm you up quick. Only take like an hour. In fact, I rarely have to start a fire. These things are only used when I need to cook something or get water. That's it. Now, keep in mind, I have so many matches, it's not like I have to ration them. But I do so anyway, just to be in the habit. Okay, wolf just outside of the cave here. See if I can get past the city. There's a way to get past these guys. Certain things are safer than others. Also, just like in real life, wind direction is important too. I'm downwind from him. Should be able to sneak past him without him noticing. Once he sees me, then he's going to be right in my face. That's what's really cool about this game, is that wind direction will actually cause you to either be for them to smell you or not smell you. Because he hasn't noticed me yet. If the wind changes, he will notice me, and he'll just start coming in my direction. The funny thing is that in this game, your character does give off scent at all times. It's just without the if you're carrying raw meat, it just increases the range at which they can smell you. Your movement? Kind of. I mean, it's not like you can sit still. It's not like you can stop moving and not have them see you. They will see. There's not exactly that much of a sound mechanic when it comes to you moving around and causing noise, and then they follow the noise. They really just follow scent. Scent and sight. Grab feathers here. Now, when it comes to the wolves, if you kill something in a particular area, the next day, it's going to have wolves. Oh, the wind slows you some, but I mean, oh yeah, the wind does slow you down if you're heading straight in. It gets. The same can be said about the wind being to your back. It will actually speed you up. Just slightly, but enough. That's why if I'm going long distances, I want the wind to always be at my back. But there are just some times that you're unlucky and you just have to deal. Okay. Spent our weekly night out in the cave. Medicine, air. Grab it. Can I hang out? Pretty much good on supplies. I'm probably gonna just crank through the days until I get to a point where I feel I need to get wood, water, or food. But this is late game. This is pretty much what late game is. You get to the point where, I mean, your clothing is as good as you'll ever get. I mean, right now these are pretty much the best pieces of gear I've found. Got the, however you pronounce that sweater. These are the best sweaters. And you got the bearskin skin coat, moose hide cloak, no pants. Deerskin pants, wool long johns, reclining socks, deerskin boots, a block blah blah blah, and a long wool scarf, and then a rabbit skin pin. Pretty much the best for warmth protection and wind protection, and also doesn't get cold when it gets wet. The downside to this gear, heavy. So you are very slow. Comparative to everything else, you are slow. I mean, my sprint, I can go faster if I'm not wearing all this gear. But it brings me down to 46% when it comes to my sprint. It requires a lot of energy for me to sprint. But I prefer that over being a bleed every single time I get attacked. If I get attacked by a wolf, I have a very high chance, because of protection rating, that I won't get a bleed. I might get a bruise, I might get a scratch, but I won't get a bleed. That's what I really care about. The higher your protection, the less you'll get some of that. You know, it doesn't protect you from sprains, it protects you from bleeds. Right now, my protection's at and I have a very high warmth protection too. There are pieces of equipment that give you a protection at the cost of, well, wind protection. Like the work gloves. Work gloves are really good protection, but they're warmth and wind protection. Or, which is understandable, because they're work gloves. Also, late game, you're going to want to be moving into natural gear. You want to limit the number of gear that requires, like, synthetic leather, cured leather as they call it. I used to have mucklucks. They're still here. These things. These things require one cloth and one cured leather to repair. The deerskin boots and the mucklucks, their values very similar. But this one, I just need deerskin to repair. Cured leather is a lot harder to find. This got me up to pretty much day 4, and I switched. Then the Expedition Parka. Expedition Parka is really good too. But until the release of the moose and then the moose hide cloak, it was what I was using to keep myself warm as a second coat. And you got the worn ski jacket, which is also good, but the hide stuff way better.
Feels like night is coming.
The night is coming. Alright. Meat here. It's daytime. Now, there's a lot of people who on stalker difficulty will go way past day 500. Oh, my neighbors are back. But I don't plan on going past 500 on this round, so. Because I just want to start the next difficulty up. but I still want to get the achievement for surviving 500 days. The wolf is like right there, right next to my house. On easier difficulties, this is probably not what you're gonna see. You're probably gonna rarely see a wolf. Grab one of these. I just kind of close it. You don't have to close the doors. I just kind of do it out of habit. I like it. Lowers the temperature of your house. But I don't know if the wolves can get through the doorway when I'm not there. Unless thing I want to do is come to my house and see a wolf hanging outside. Okay. I could also wait the entire 10 hours, but I have to think about my food and my calories. I'll keep those up as much as I can. Because each one, if you're dehydrated, you'll start losing health over time. If you're starving, you lose health over time. I think the one that causes the most amount of health loss, though, is temperature. Which, if I'm at full health, I'll if I have to, I'll go running through while freezing, just to get through a house or cave. Okay, 4 hours. I think tomorrow we'll probably do a wood run. We'll go and get some wood. Won't take us. Bed. The downside to grinding out days like this is our energy only gets down to half. If you stand still for the entire day, your energy doesn't go below half, which means you won't sleep as long. I think some, maybe 1,000 days, usually don't watching further streamers at more because, yeah, I hear you. I find myself watching a lot of smaller streamers. Usually if I'm looking to see, like, for multiplayer games, if it comes to, like, I'm looking to get pointers, I'll usually go to a larger streamer just to kind of watch and see what they're doing. But most of the time it's just like, if I want to actually get a response, the smaller streamer is going to give me that response. So yeah. Okay, daytime let's play. But yeah, 1,000 days. Oof. That'd be rough. You have to be pretty much. You have to have a really lucky start to be able to do 1,000 days, because you have to maintain the momentum. Okay, there, 1,000. Oh, weird. Grab another. starting to get low. While I go out and try to find wood here. Yeah, I've pretty much saved up a bunch of supplies for my trip up the mountain, because once I go up the mountain, the plan is I'm going to not leave the mountain until I get to 500 days. So I either die on the mountain 500 days, either one. Because my plan is to end my run at the very top of the mountain at 500 days. It's going to be a bit difficult. Okay, fog. Fog.
This pack is getting kind of heavy.
Fog isn't too bad. Still cold. Do I really want it? I don't know if I should grab another one, because I am a low temperature. Play it safe. I do have wolves starting to respawn around me. I should probably protect myself. A lot are playing Billions at the moment. My bro got me Twitch, watch his guys. I originally started to stream, but I get busy too often. Like today, sleep is all messed up, so I'm staying awake. Yes, I know that. For a lot of people, streaming is kind of one of, I mean, you either do it because you like it, or you do it because, I mean, just looking for something to do. That's why I'm doing it. I'm just looking for something to keep myself occupied. You know? I've been streaming for about a year now. I'm coming up on a year of pretty much daily streaming. I only stream 5 days a week, but I'm coming up on a year now, and oof, kind of crazy. When you think about it, it doesn't feel that long, but in a year. Started streaming near the end of January, somewhere around there. Unfortunately, my streams don't last long enough in my previous streams to be able to sit there and go, yep, this is the very first stream I did. Nope. All those streams are kind of gone, but I mean, what do you do? Let's see here. Yeah. Thinking I'm probably gonna have to go in over to the cave again. I just don't want to get cabin fever, or risk of cabin fever. Just eating the smaller ones here. That way I have a few thousand calories on me to be able to eat. Okay, I'm gonna make a trip over Now that I'm pretty much full up on food and water. I'm gonna make a stop over here and get some feathers. I'm slowly trying to restock on feathers here so that the cool stuff happens when no one is around. So you do need to clean like this, you know. I like the stream back when my buddy did Legends. In Minecraft is easy. Yeah. Pretty much when it comes to games, I kind of stick in between total viewer counts, anywhere between like 1,000, 500 to 1,000 viewers at any one time. Maybe a little bit above that. Mostly because, and that's mostly because if I go to stream, like, say, Fortnite, I'm gonna be one of 1,000 streamers. Probably gonna be at the very bottom. So yes, there's more people, but I'm more concerned about how many people are hopping around. Oh, hi. Jerk. Oh, buddy. Ow. Gotcha. Plus, also the other thing is, do I have interest in the game? And is it a game that I could play months on end and not get bored of it? There's all the wolves. That's the other big thing. Like, yeah, I could play Fortnite, but I'd probably get bored of it after a week. That was close. So all the wolves are pretty much over here. But yeah, for a lot of people, I see a lot of streamers who play a lot of League of Legends, Fortnite, PUBG, pretty much whatever's at the top of the viewer of the browser. What game has the highest viewers, and go stream that. And if you have interest in that game, then great. Go for it. But I don't have any interest in the games. At least not right now. Watch a lot of guys. It seems like the big ones, like Cocarnage, Revolt, is fad. Yeah, well, when it comes to some of them, Cocarnage he's turned it into a business. So what he gets is, he gets a whole bunch of games that developers pretty much give him, or he sees, something that will get him viewers, subscribers in the short term. So he goes and plays the latest game, which, I mean, someone has to do it. Someone has to play the latest game and basically sell that game. Go around and say, hey, look at how fun it is, you should go out and get it. Someone has to do it. And he's built his channel around his personality and being that guy who goes out and gets games and plays them. And people go and watch him to see what latest game he happened to find. And in many cases, for the larger streamers, they get paid to play a game for usually about an hour or two. And that's usually what happens. They'll play it for like maybe an hour or two, and then they kind of drop it. Because that was what they were paid for. They were paid to play for a couple hours, and then they stop it, and then they play the game they actually want to play. Goodbye. Yeah. Which is not a bad way to go. I usually find myself playing a lot of indie games. Basically a video game tester, pretty much, yeah. I find myself playing a lot of indie games, a lot of smaller games, games that most people don't even know about. But I also do play World of Warships, which is a game that I have genuine interest in, and I'm trying to get better at. But I'm still a beginner. I'm quite sure I could probably get a lot more viewers if I go and play World of Tanks, because World of Tanks has got way more viewers right now, but I have no interest in tanks, so yeah. In fact, there's a couple of games that I actually have interest in, but due to trial and error, I found out there's just no interest in watching those games. Like Thief. I love the Thief series. No one wants to watch it. I got a couple of people to come and pop their heads in when I was playing my first playthrough, but no one watched it. So I was just like, okay, well, I'll just play this in my free time then. Just call it that. When it comes to streaming, it's all pretty much make it up as you go. See which games get people to actually watch, ones you actually have interest in, and you won't feel like you're actually going through a slog. Because that's the big thing. A lot of people get burnt out because they play the games they think are popular, not the games they actually are interested in. 427, 16 hours. Crap, nearly there. 23 days left.
I need some water.
I find myself just okay. Do I have interest in this game, and is there enough people actually watching it to where it greatens the chances of them actually coming in? And in the past year, the game I've not heard friend do make a living doing it, or the fishing gig. Right? Yeah. Making a living off of streaming is very difficult. I'm kind of in the part of I'm doing it because I want to, but also pretty much my stream is pretty much just me, what I'd be doing anyway, and just turning on the stream to do it. Like, this is what I'd be doing even if I wasn't. So if the stream was off, I'd probably be doing this right now. Granted, learning how to talk to yourself is weird. It's definitely something that you quickly have to learn how to do if you want to be a streamer. Learning to fill the void. Yeah, like I learned tough and basic. Yeah. Yep. That's a 25. Also, when it comes to a lot of multiplayer games, for the most part, multiplayer games, people want to see the best player play that game. I mean, if you are like, let's be generous, top 100 on the leaderboard, say you're the top 100 of people who want to get into that particular game or want to get tips, that's who they go and watch. They watch the top of the leaderboard streamers, the ones who go to tournaments, who are pros at it. That's who they're going to go and people who are really, really good at that game. If you're not, maybe you'd probably get a couple of people to come in and hang out. But that's where a lot half dozen who use to watch me try to cut it down. Yeah. Wait 3 hours. But yeah, that's the problem I see with a lot of multiplayer games. That's why, that's why I pretty much, when I'm playing World of Warships, I pretty much create the title to kind of explain to them, you're not going to look for pro gameplay here. You're not going to find pro gameplay here. It's just going to be me exploding a lot. And I go into it knowing that I'm going to die a lot. But kind of comes with the territory. Get back to the cabin here. I think I've cleared out most of the wolves here. In fact, I think the only game I've gotten at least knowledgeable in is this game. This game is pretty much this and another indie title called Everspace, but viewership for that particular game kind of died off. I mean, I had already 100% of the game once. Oh yeah. Plus it's a fast-paced game, so it's pretty hard to understand what's going on and keep up. There's a lot of fast movement. I'm quite sure it was, for a lot of people, very blurry gameplay. Oh well. But I find myself doing a lot of slower games. And World of Warships, Ark. I'll probably get to Minecraft eventually. I play a lot of slow games. We was our game, me and my 90% of our games, I'd say much made challenger game. Like trash. Yeah. I don't find myself being a very competitive person. Not like I used to. I used to play player versus player on World of Warcraft. And back when I was really into it, I was really good at it. I was, for the longest time, I was that rogue you didn't want to see in Tolbarad back during Cataclysm. I was that rogue. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if back then I had a couple of bounties due to some guilds who just didn't like me. It was mostly because I got so knowledgeable in how the game played at the time. They changed it quite a bit since I played. Pretty much back in the day, my usual haunt was Tol Barad, which was a PvP zone, and pretty much had people from, I think it was like 2 servers. No, it was same server, both factions. In my college days, I played 2 controllers, free for all. First, second player, top. They ruined WoW. Like RuneScape. Yeah. Yeah, it's not as focused on PvP for World of Warcraft. They're more concerned about, they've made the game to where it's more concerned about getting people to see the end game content. I mean, when the game first came out, it was all about it was fairly new to Blizzard, so the people who made it to endgame were really, really good. They knew their stuff. But nowadays, it's like the developers want players to get to the end. On Call of Duty, leaving words out. That's no problem. Drop this fur off. Like grinding and the time it takes? Yes. World of Warcraft in the early days in vanilla was definitely a grind. I mean, level 30 to level 40 was a nightmare. But if you got through it, you know your character pretty well. I mean, it took me about 3 months to get from 30 to 40. I spent way too much time in Stranglethorn Vale. Way too long. But that was because I had to jump in between Stranglethorn Vale, Desolace, and back and forth. Which you actually had to walk there. Nobody wanted to go to Desolace, but at the time I was desperate to get levels. And I just wanted to change the scenery. I got tired of jungle. So much jungle. Another day. But I played Vanilla, Burning Crusades, Wrath of the Lich King, Cataclysm. I skipped Panda, and I got back into it during Legion, and not quite sure if I'm ever gonna go back. I'd have to look in to see what the newest DLC is gonna be. My girlfriend still plays RuneScape. Stopped when they forced you to do the new combat. But yeah, I hate queues with people who don't know. Yeah, don't know how their character works. Yeah, that's true. I mean, kind of something that comes with multiplayer. You're gonna get. You kind of need those new players who don't know what they're doing in order to keep the high-level players occupied. We had a mage who I rode with, her demon, kept getting us killed. Yeah. The thing is that when it comes to multiplayer games, you kind of have to have the fodder. You have to have the new players. You keep the older players, the much more experienced players, occupied. If a game didn't start getting new players and it was only the experienced players, you would get this, you'd have this community kind of shrink, and you'll get only the best players who are still playing it. Problem is, that can get tedious after a while, because if you keep saying the same person over and over again in queue, it's no longer exciting anymore. You start getting games where it's pretty much dead even every single time. You know exactly how they're going to react. They know how you're going to react. And it just turns into a stalemate almost all the time. So in order to keep the game exciting, fresh, and it's changing, they need new players. It's kind of what happened to Call of Duty. If you play like the original Call of Duties, like which you can still play on multiplayer for like Xbox and stuff like that. If you go and play like, you know, Modern Warfare 2 or Call of Duty 3, they are very, very small communities, but everybody is like really good at it. You go in like, hey, I'm just gonna play a couple of games. You're just gonna be completely crushed every single time because they didn't stop. They get arrogant, so if I hate someone with 30 days at max level versus you at 2 years plus, there's a that is kind of problem that League of Legends is having, because pretty much the people who play, the majority of people who are playing at like the top, I mean, for the most part, they're expecting a certain level of expertise when it comes to their teammates. If they had like two separate, you know, queues, like you got the experts, the elite, the people who have been playing it since the game launched, the ones who know their characters, who are very competitive, put them in their own little pool, and then you have the kiddie pool. All the new players who don't know what they're doing. You kind of create a little buffer in between the two, then it wouldn't be so bad. Then you get a lot more people who will graduate from the kiddie pool to the expert. I left Black Ops once. New one came out. The hackers pushed me out. Yes. Yeah. There's another problem with multiplayer games. It's hackers. If the game isn't prepared for the hackers, then it ruins it for everyone. Beginner players and elite players alike. Ruins it for everybody. That's what's Fortnite had and I think still does have a bit of a hacker problem, which is causing people to kind of second guess even getting the game in the first place. Which is that's someone who kind of have a soft spot for developers. That's kind of something that any developer does not want to see. You don't want to see hackers on day one. Wait. Okay, brain rest is taken care of. What are we doing on days right now? Okay, we're coming up on 4:30. I played League like release day 7. 8 years ago. My friends got been around since beta. Know how the community is to me and my did 6 games tonight of our people get so ticked, but our jukes are funny. Yeah. Yeah, it's something that I'm quite sure that if I dedicate time, I'd probably get good at if I wanted to. I mean, there's very few multiplayer games that I actually have interest in anymore. I used to be heavy into multiplayer games. I mean, I was a heavy Halo player. I played a lot of multiplayer on Halo 1, 2, 3, Reach, 4. I enjoyed it while it lasted, but I mean, you know, if you take time off, don't have enough time to play, or you just get old, your reaction time slows. You can't keep up with the younger players. At that point, you start trying to find games that are a little bit slower, more tactical based. So that you can try to be tactical and get yourself around that hand-eye coordination delay that you get by getting older. If we get a good match, the whole team usually top of the map. People think, it's the only way to go. But yeah, it wears you down. The games, the competitiveness, yes. Yeah. Again, it definitely wears you down. I totally agree. That's why when it comes to the newer multiplayer games, it's kind of a young man's game. Kind of just for young players. So I kind of leave many of the newer multiplayer games, I kind of leave it to the young blood, the younger kids. Let them go to town on it. In fact, if I feel like playing Fortnite, I'll go and watch Ninja, because, I mean, come on. When I first started watching Twitch, he was playing Halo, and I would just watch him intently because I was heavy into Halo at the time. And now he plays like PUBG, Fortnite, and he just... It's amazing how second nature it is for him. Just like, I wish. Yeah, League is not as good as it used to be, but I'm good. I got bills and stuff, so yeah, I can't do 14-hour days no more. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, if you want to get good at those games, you have to be able to put those kind of hours in. I just don't got that time anymore. That's why I only stream for 4 hours. I only stream for 4 hours during the day. I go to work, and then I come back, and I might have enough time to watch some streamers, and then I go to bed. Okay. Here. Oh, late game, long dark. Because I've already looked everywhere on in this area. Then there's also the other areas, but I've already kind of drained them dry of resources. This is where I am right now. This is where I spent pretty much 400 days. Well, 350 days over here. I've pretty much been to every single zone, and now kind of at the point where I'm just kind of trying not to die and trying to creep my way towards a 450 so that the fun begins. Where I'm going to leave pretty much 90% of my supplies behind and just carry what I can carry up, what I can carry on me. All I just need to do is not starve or get myself killed in the process. Let's see here. That one. Nope. Which is nice because of that second bear I got. Cram down some more days. Almost there. Blizzard on its way. Probably gonna have to go in head to the cave again. Nighttime. The website that I showed my bud how much time I wasted on my last 190 days game time on League. My friend had nearly 300. That played me. I went to basic training. Wow. Damn, dude. That's a lot of time spent on one game. Currently, right now, on this game, I'm at nearly 240 hours. Nearly on 240 hours on this game alone. The only other game that I've gotten anywhere close to this was Everspace, which is clocked at 200 hours. So yeah, it's pretty crazy how quickly the hours just kind of fly by with this game. You see much? Okay, let's see here. Past 3 hours. I used to put that into my Final Fantasy games. Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy 4. Final Fantasy 4, I pretty much, I maxed out. I maxed out every single character. I maxed out every single character, got them up to level 99. And I did that 4 times on 4 saves, because on the Game Boy, you only had 4 saves. So I did all 4 saves. Level 99. And yeah. A lot of time on it. I don't think I've ever played a game to that degree before, or ever since. I could probably go and buy Final Fantasy. I can buy Final Fantasy 4 for the PC through Steam, but man, I don't know if I could get lost into that game like I used to. Meat here. There's the wolf. There'll be a second wolf. There's one here. It might be over on the other side of that hill. Which isn't too bad. Yep, a late grind here. I don't get to explore much this late game because, well, I just don't want to die. My family deleted my save so much. I just put it all on Steam. Yeah. Yeah. Because there's another streamer who plays this game, and he got up to 417 days, and he got himself killed by one. It was just like, oh, dude, no, oh, well, that's horrible. So I'm just being cautious. And you kind of have to in this game. You have to be cautious. Don't go out walking around unless you are prepared to be attacked by wolves. You should probably head to that cave. I think enough time has gone by. Wait. Okay. Meat, yes. Let's go. I'm wondering if I know the developers of the Unreal Engine are probably going to be coming out with another Unreal Tournament. I wonder if that game is going to be any good on Twitch. I mean, because it's a fast-paced game. Fast-paced game. It's arena shooter, the traditional arena shooter. I don't know. Sounds like my Division run in survival got killed one second before getting on Chabra. Dark Zone? Wow. Yeah, there's another blizzard on its way, I feel. Probably a good time for me to get to that cave. Before things get out of hand. But yeah, Unreal Tournament is a very old game. I mean, that was like late 90s? Yeah, late 90s. Late 90s game. And they keep coming up with newer ones. I think the last one that they made was Unreal Tournament 3. That wolf smells me. I'm in my direction. Different survival was one long not 4 and 17. Yeah. Yeah, when I first started playing, I think I survived 10 days and then I died. Yeah, you remember Unreal Tournament? Yeah. I played Unreal Tournament 2004. That was like my game. The game I played a lot. I remember playing all the player-made maps and all that stuff. Lots and lots of fun on that one. Lots of getting your head shot off and getting exploded by rockets. That was kind of part of the territory. Okay. Get yourselves to the cave. And we'll sleep here. Water. Water here. We'll go to sleep. Yeah. Well. Got ourselves the dawn and the blizzard. Hopefully. Eat that. Drink. From what I know about Interloper is that things like blizzards happen a lot. They happen a lot on this difficulty, but they happen even more often on Interloper. Nice. Blizzard stop. Sweet. Okay. Let's see. Nope, nope. Okay, nope. No wolves here. I'm gonna just go now. Because I have a feeling that I'm probably gonna get hit by another blizzard here. Sometimes it'll happen like that. You'll get like a period of time where there's nothing happening. And then you'll get hit by another blizzard. That's happened to me a couple of times on this run. Less animal attacks, more weather issues. Yeah, that's Interloper. Stalker is essentially supplies are less plentiful, not as much as the two lower difficulties. But Stalker is a lot less supplies, but a lot more carnivore. So a lot more hostile mobs roaming around. So on Stalker, wolves are very plentiful, they're everywhere, and I've seen they'll run in packs, and I've seen wolf packs be up to like 6 wolves altogether. So you really quickly learn to deal with wolves. Another thing on Stalker is the greater chance of blizzards. You get colder faster than the previous difficulty, and Interloper is just the weather, you know, things like your temperature, your dehydration, your calories, they drop faster. And also, blizzards are more dangerous, but the good thing is that carnivores are rare, but so are all the other animals are rare. So deer, rabbits, pretty much the only thing that you can count on is fish and anything that you find. In fact, supplies are on the Interloper are harder to find. Things like matches, tools, you know, knives, axes, winter clothing, stuff like that is much harder to find. Hence why I wanted to get myself through this run and learn all the different mechanics so that depending on what I find on my Interloper run, I can still survive and come up with a solution. You know, come up with a pattern in which to not starve to death, come up with a pattern of finding wood, stocking up on wood, making a bunch of water, using as few matches as possible. Because chances are I'm probably going to only have one match at times. Also, I wanted to know all the maps. I wanted to know where everything was, where the equipment drops are, where the buildings are, where the, you know, where the potential frozen corpses are going. Where the wolves and bears are usually located. How to shoot both a rifle and a bow. Because I don't know if I'm going to find a rifle, or I don't know if I'm going to find a bow. So I need to learn how to use both. And this, you, okay, we're getting food now. Let's make water. I think I've squeezed out as much as I can. Just grab some wood here. Myself a ton of water. From my experience on Hunter versus Stalker, I think I'd rather try Stalker again.
Come on.
First, the
Turned out
bit
pretty
I
well.
find, yeah. Yeah, Stalker is just like sink or swim when it comes to dealing with wolves. Either learn to deal with the wolves or die. That's Stalker.
Too much stuff to carry.
It's difficult, but not too difficult. That's the benefit. Just gonna get a little of the wizard here real quick. We're shielded, so we don't worry about us freezing. Boil that up. I try really hard to use up all the burn time that I can. Match got me 9 liters of water, so tonight, what I feel is really does come down to, do I use the stick now or later? Yes, that's pretty much Interloper. Interloper is one of those game modes where you sit there and you stare at your match, your one match, and you go, okay, got one match. I could use it now to get water, or I could use it later and use it for water and food. Which is a really rough position to be in at times. But probably what I'm going to have to be dealing with on Interloper is probably I need to find better clothing. I need warmer clothes. And I need to find a tool. I need to get an axe. I have to get a knife. I have to get myself a bow, an arrow, or a rifle and bullets. probably going to be my run. Desperately trying to find supplies and not use the ones that I do find too quickly. Ours. Yeah, my interloper run is definitely going to be me kind of nomading. Not laying down roots constantly on the move. Trying to find more supplies so that I can make it a little bit farther. Not spending the supplies that I do find unless I absolutely have to. Oh, out there. Now, if I were to guess, carnivores are pretty much like probably more dangerous on the harder difficulty. Probably better going hunting rabbits if you're lucky, or clothes. Find weapons beside them. Yeah, exactly. Probably the number one thing I want to find on Interloper would be fishing tackle. If I could find fishing tackle, I'd be able to at least put down temporary roots next to a fishing house, you know, a fishing hut, and live off the fish for a while. In fact, probably at the beginning of my run, I'd probably risk a encounter with a moose and see if I can take out a moose. Because if I take out a moose, I wouldn't have to worry about food for a while. And I would have a moose hide cloak in my future. But on Interloper, you pretty much have to make those risks. You either die here, or you live a little bit longer. Hide. That other second hide is nearly done. Okay. 4 hours waiting. Nighttime. Let's see how many days we have left. Probably grind it out quite a few days. Let's see here. No, we're gonna wait. A little bit longer in the day because I noticed that my energy is at half. Make it through most of that night. So. Nope. And cue the blizzard. Did we just go through a blizzard? See what days we're at. 434 days. Man, we are nearly there. We're nearly at day 450. Day 450 is when, at first glance, it seems like a lower difficulty. It's more like pick your poison. Yes. Pretty much, for a lot of people, the difference in between Stalker and Interloper is pretty much what do you want to worry about? Do you want to worry about constantly being attacked by wolves and other carnivores? Or do you want to be constantly worrying about supplies? Those are the choices. They all, in my opinion, Stalker and Interloper are very close in difficulty, at least in the beginning. But once you get past the beginning and you've got yourself a ton of supplies, then they're very similar. You know, on Stalker at late game, wolves become more of a nuisance than a danger. And on Interloper, I'm quite sure it's very similar. Trying to find food is more of like a nuisance, a chore, than a real danger. But yeah, as you can see, I don't have to worry about matches for a while. I've got all of these cardboard matches and a whole bunch of these wooden matches, plus the ones I have on me. I got 24 on me. That's the cardboard matches. So, matches are not a problem for me. In the early game, it was definitely a problem. Finding winter clothing, finding food, finding, you know, making water, finding shelter. Definitely a chore. Definitely difficult. But just because I have all these supplies, I try really hard not to use them all, because I can easily get myself back into the feeling of the very beginning and run out of matches. Matches is something that you could easily just burn through, figuratively and literally, unintended. We're gonna have a blizzard. Yeah, if you're not ready for a blizzard, then this could be a death sentence. Because you'd have if you were like low on food, low on water, and you had to go out and get like wood, or making the choice in between get wood to make water, or go and search for food. Chances are, by the time you find food, you won't be able to, you know, clean the carcass because, well, blizzard. And it's 3 arrows down. You see right there. That's really, really cold weather. Pretty much anything you do out in a blizzard will get you killed. And then you put on top of that being attacked by a wolf or stumbling across a bear, which a bear attack brings you down to a fraction of your health. I mean, the amount of damage it does, it automatically brings you down to probably 10% of your health. So it's red. It's pretty much right here. Brings you down to there, and it probably tears up a bunch of your clothing. So not only do you have to get your health back, but you also have to repair a bunch of gear that just got damaged. And if your clothing is too low, it will just outright ruin it, and then that piece of clothing is gone. I've had that happen to me a couple times. I had a pair of rabbit skin boots, and they were at like 50% condition, and I went and tried to take on the bear and immediately lost it. Mittens were gone. I was barehanded at that point. So I had to go and find gloves just so I wouldn't get frostbitten and make myself a new pair of gloves. That's why I always keep my gear at 80% or above, because worst case scenario, if I do take damage on that piece of equipment, it will be at least at 20%. I can still salvage it. But I over-prepare for things. I over-prepare for the possibility of what happens if the worst case scenario happens against what I'm trying to do. If I'm taking on a bear, what happens if the worst case happens? I put my units on Imperial, Celsius, dog difficulty, either for Canada. Yeah, I kind of just left it at default. I just left it at default. I was just like, why not? It's Canada. Make myself feel like I'm there in Canada. Canada. Okay, can I get the food in this? But yeah, when you actually kill a bear or kill a moose, pretty much set food for a bear. Right? It allows you to be able to do other things, like work on your tools, repair stuff, organize a little bit, which I don't organize. I just two cured 70%. I think I might be able to repair that. Here, grab the off and repair. Should get us up to 100%. Bedroll done. Bedroll is at 100% again. I'm keeping a close eye on my bedroll now because I actually once got and had destroyed. Yeah. So I had to remake a new one. Which to make a bedroll requires taking on a bear twice. 2 bears. You have to kill 2 bears to make the bedroll. This is the best bedroll game. One, it's the warmest, so you can pretty much plop that thing anywhere and not have to worry about freezing. 2, it has the bonus of if you sleep somewhere, it will scare away wolves because it will give off the scent of a bear, and wolves are scared of bears. If the wolves just all of a sudden run, chances are there's a bear nearby, or you see the wolves in a location one day and then they're gone the next, chances are the bear has moved into that spot. So the bedroll gives off the scent of the bear. So if you go and sleep, you're not going to get attacked in a wolf. Nighttime. Water. It's a little easier. 0 degrees is cold. 30 degrees is hot, kind of like 0 Celsius on the weather. And hard is your day. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, Celsius is a little bit easier. Oh, cabin fever risk. Yeah. Deal with that. But a little bit too much time indoors. Oh well. Well, cabin fever risk is not that big of a deal. Not right. 70%.
I need to find something to drink.
That's the risk I was talking about. Spent too much time indoors. Go to our cave here. Okay, I hear a wolf on it. As soon as the cabin fever gets to 100%, then I get cabin fever. Yeah, we got a wolf out on the lake, and then we got a wolf here. Yeah, he's not a problem. He'll kind of come a little bit closer, but he kind of just does his own thing. Unless I go out onto the lake. If I go out onto the lake, he'll bother me. But as long as I stay on the coast, he'll be kind of over there doing his thing.
That's gonna slow things down.
Oh, we got a sprained ankle. Can't sprint now. Getting hungry. But I do have food on. Right now, we're at 70%. I'm favorite, so maybe like two nights we'll get rid of it. Maybe 3, depending on how bad. Now the worst kind of sprain that you can get, at least in my opinion, sprained wrist. Because sprained wrist means that you can't use a weapon. You can use a knife, but when, you know, they're on top of you and stabbing at them. But you can't use a bow, and you can't use a rifle. Sprained ankle means you can't sprint, no matter what. Until it goes away. That's why I always carry pills or a pre-cooked herbal tea in case I get a sprained wrist and I need my wrist. But a sprained ankle I can deal with. I can just walk it until I sleep.
Feels so good.
Unless I'm taking on a bear, then I need the ability to sprint. Or going somewhere where there's thin ice, I also need the ability to sprint. There we go. Horse cave.
Damn, that's smart.
Eat here. Oh, there we go. Now we just need to get the cabin fever to go away. Savage. Spend time outdoors. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna have to call it early today because I've got a compound bow I need to go and get serviced. And I need to do that before I go to work and drop it off. So, thank you all for hanging out with me. If you have not done so, please hit the follow button on your way out. It helps me greatly. Tomorrow I'm going to be streaming at 1 p.m. And I'm going to probably be streaming World of Warships. If not, if I can't get my friend to join me, I'll probably play some Minecraft Primal mod pack. The Minecraft mod pack that's similar to Long Dark Survival. So I'll be trying that out if my friend can't get on board. So anyway, thank you all for hanging out with me. See you later.